Guys, I request you to please switch on the camera. At least few of you, please, because that would help me to have more interactive session today. And I hope you all are doing great. Thank you for joining me on Saturday, because I totally understand it is definitely very busy weekend and you all are studying hard, doing very well, doing great, enjoying the draws, not enjoying the weather change in Canada, but that's how it is, c'est la vie. And hopefully we'll make it soon to the PR. Cool. So I just quickly share my screen and let's just hit on the recording tab here as well, because some of you has requested me to record, which is absolutely fine. Awesome. Bonjour tout le monde. First of all, thank you so much for hitting the exercise which I have sent to you just before we kick off this session, which looks wonderful to me, and I do see a lot of participation here. I'm very happy to share my screen and show you how is it looking like right now. So French vocabulary on the immigration. So this is what we look at the score for now, and this is great. Like whoever did this in like 1 minute 25 seconds, though it was not a race, but yeah, it looks amazing. So many of you participated, and hardly there are any questions incorrect, and I'm sure one or two incorrect obviously doesn't matter. Oh wow, 62 people participated. This is like awesome. And most of you got all of the questions correct. Some of you only attempted in 2.5 seconds. I don't know like how it was possible. But yeah, isn't it is a great speed for sure. And that obviously shows the N2, which is amazing. And yes, all of you have participated, most of you, not all of you, most of you, and still the number is going up, which is wonderful. Great participation, guys. So, today, why we are here, and I'll come directly on the topic because I have a lot to cover. A very simple thing. We all are preparing for a target exam, which is either TEF or TCF, mostly TCF, as we know that we are moving towards that point. What is one topic which is mostly repeated? So, as we see the list of the topics when the student comes out of the exam center, we do ask them that what were your topic? How did it go? This is a usual conversation we have with everybody. So, we have noticed the most common topic in speaking, reading, writing, listening is immigration. And immigration is something which I am pretty sure all of us can relate to very well, whether or not you have immigrated to Canada yet on student visa, work visa, or any other permit, or even if you have not, you understand this aspect very well. So, this will be easier for us to connect, express, and understand. If anybody will give us a audio, video, writing, reading, listening, we will be able to express it in a better way. So that's why I chose this particular theme for you. And it is important that we understand the vocab. It is super important we implement the vocab, because that's how we will start relating the topics. So without wasting time, I'll now share my screen and we will get into the vocabulary. This particular session today is meant for all level of learners, whether you're A1, A2, B1, B2, preparing for TCF or TEF to an extent, because at the end we need to know the vocabulary, and that vocabulary would help us to get through in listening, reading also, not just always speaking and reading. For the ones who have just begun, like who must have taken only 1 week or 2 week beginner level classes, it might not be that relatable right now, because it might be too early to start with this vocabulary and you might get intimidated. But yeah, look at this like a goal. This is what you will be heading towards. So hang in there. Slowly you will you start used to of such things, and you will know that okay, this is what how it looks like. This is what I'm supposed to achieve at the end of the day. So let me share my screen and we get into the topic of the day, which is immigration. And okay, so here we go. Let me just go ahead and do this. Yeah. Okay. So the first thing first is immigration. And as we all know, the pronunciation is immigration. So anything which is Tion in French is Ion is Sion, not shun, like the way we have it in English. Whenever we see the word immigration, we do not want to just relate it with the fact that immigration means going to a different country and that's all. Of course, in your reading, in your listening, in your speaking, and in your writing, you will see different aspects like making new friends in the country, speaking and learning new language, like we are learning obviously French, living alone or with family in a different environment. We all go through that. Holding on to the traditions while abroad, not only our tradition, but also the tradition of the country that we are moving to. So, of course, we may celebrate or may see the lights and things of maybe Christmas more and less of Diwali or any other tradition or festival, adapting to the new culture and lifestyle. And of course, as we say, as we live in Canada, adapting to weather as well. So all of these themes are super important when it comes to the TEF or TCF, because we need these vocabulary. Without this vocabulary, there is no way we can target this score. Of course, some of you may target CLB5, but at the end, the roadmap is this. Now, importance, as I've already told you, listening is something. You may hear the audio about new immigration, integration services, daily life in Canada. Comprehensive accreed, reading articles and notices often deal with immigration, administrative forms, rights and duties, integration. Expressio oral, which is speaking, at least the task 3 I have seen a lot, it's getting repeated so much. Immigration comes up directly in the prompts. Pourquoi vous voulez immigrer au Canada? Usually when the task 1, the when we are presenting to the examiner, bonjour présentez-vous, then they also at that time they interrupt at times, and they do ask why you're learning French, why you chose Canada, what is the reason. So of course, we if we will have better vocabulary, we will be better equipped. Quels sont les avantages et difficultés? What is the advantage and difficulties? Common tasks include writing a letter, blog post about adapting to new country. I hope so far so good. I'm not going too fast because this is something I understand as a common general content that all of you already know. So I'm not getting into the depth of it right now. In case I'm going too fast, feel free to put it in the chat. I'm super happy to repeat or super happy to explain. But so far, I think I've talked about the general stuff. Now let's understand the vocabulary for the principal theme. Here is the main thing. This is your hero. This is something you need to keep it in mind. First, some important tip here. Do we need to learn everything? Actually, no, because technically it is not possible. We do not have the time or bandwidth, not because of our personal and professional life, because we don't want to run out of the French category draws. So we need to be little smart here. We need to understand that what are the things that we will speak, what are the things that we will write, what is it that will make us make our score higher. So there are certain keywords, there are certain vocabulary that you will be repeating again and again. Can I just not memorize the synonyms of these words and impress my exam? So how do we circle around that? Let's say people who are at the A1 level, they, or even if you're higher level, that's fine. Level actually is like shouldn't be here. It's just that that's how I'm defining, but honestly, it has no level as such. So immigré is the one that is foreigner, which is étranger. So étranger, I feel the spelling is wrong here because it is étranger, but immigré and étranger is foreigner. Famille. Now, famille sometimes can synonymously to be used as proche or parent. Les parents, mes proches, ma famille. Pays d'accueil. What is pays d'accueil? Le pays où on vit. That means host country. So for the conversation's sake, I will take one country. Let's say the country which we are coming from is ABCD. I don't want to choose any specific country. So I am coming from, my country name is ABCD and my target country is Canada for today's conversation. So my pays d'accueil. Now the pronunciation, guys, it's pays d'accueil. D'accueil, not d'accueil, not the keel. It's pays d'accueil. What is d'accueil? Can anybody tell me what this word here is? Like what it must be referring to?
Welcome.
Yes, very, very much correct. Yes, welcome. Accueillir. Thank you, Devang. Accueillir is welcome, and pays d'accueil is welcoming pay. That means our host country, which is Canada. Perfect. Let's move further. Déménager. Déménager. That means moving house, moving city, moving anywhere. So if I'm moving house from my ABCD to Canada, je déménage. I am moving. Je déménage. Now, obviously, my ER verb, the conjugation will remain as is. There is no exception here. Je déménage, tu déménages, il déménage, nous déménageons. No EONS, like the way we do manger, and then vous déménagez, il déménage, elle déménage. Simple. Going further, parti. Simple vocabulary, which is quitte and endroit, that means leaving a country. So two nice vocabulary or verb that we are learning right now is déménager and partir. Déménager and partir. These are the two important verbs that we are going to use again and again. I know it looks simple, but we forget. Vivre dans un pays étranger. Living in the country, foreign. I know, French, right? Funny. So living in the foreign country. So moving to another country. Now, moving to another country, we just learned one verb, that is déménager. Moving to another country, which is our host country, pays d'accueil. And vivre dans un pays étranger is moving to the foreign country, let's say, or going and living abroad. Simple. Vivre, obviously to live. Apprendre une langue étrangère, which we all of us are doing. Learning a new language, an international language, which is French. Of course, we are learning for PR, but at the end, we will be deriving a lot of other benefits, finding job, making community, being part of the Francophone community, and other things which will come later. Faire des amis, making new friends. Faire des amis. So whenever we want to say faire des amis, we always say se faire des copains, rencontrer des personnes. Voila. So these are the different ways of saying. Simple verb, simple noun. Travail. Travail means obviously work. Emploi, métier. So travail, emploi, métier. Now, if you understand why I have given very simple three terms here, the point here is that you will see again and again these words, and that is super like bothering. It will bother us so much so that you would want to go ahead and think like, okay, do I have another word? Do I have another word in my mind? So emploi, métier, travail. Maison, logement, appartement. Can anybody in the group tell me one more word if you do not look at ChatGPT without looking
Bâtiment,
at Bâtiment is building.
habitation,
Now, what do we
sorry,
say? Anyone from TEF or anyone from TCF also? When we do the task two, we use this word. I use this word a lot when we do a task two. I want to find something when I
colocation.
know that is a room sharing.
Oui.
Hébergement.
Ibergemo. Who was that? Who was that?
It's me, Stacy.
Merci beaucoup. Yes, that's the word I was looking for. Ibergemo. Iberge. BERGE. Sorry for the handwriting, guys. This is not my real handwriting. This is how I type when it is mouse. Hébergement. So, hébergement, appartement, logement, maison. We have four of them. Now, maison is definitely not the real synonym, but when we deliver a monologue in task TCF3, task 3 of TCF, and when we say more content, sometimes we need synonyms. That's all. Otherwise, it's not a direct synonym. Perfect. So far, so good. Am I going too fast? All good. Continue. Any thumbs up? So that I get the message that it's not too fast. All good. I continue, guys. Parfait. Merci beaucoup. Okay. Now let's look at the phrases, guys. So what phrases we need? Je vis dans un nouveau pays. I live in a new country. Je vis. Which is this verb? Very easy. Who can say?
Venir.
No,
Vivre.
venir. No.
Vivre. Vivre.
Vivre. But yes,
Vivre.
it gets confused with the venir at times, which is fine, guys. Vivre. So vivre means to live. Venir means to come. So je vis dans un nouveau pays. So and also tell me, guys, pays spelling. Okay, this is s at the end, but here it is a nouveau pays. So why it is not plural? I'm just throwing this as a PAJ. I mean, PAJ means something which is like you could easily find out, like why it is there is no plural here.
Pay is not plural.
Vowel?
Pay itself is a word which is
Yeah,
for country.
the word itself is used for a country with S.
Correct. That means doesn't mean the French words when they end always with s, they are not plural. There's another word, which is this word is corps, right? Corps means body.
Boy.
Doesn't mean I'm referring to multiple bodies. Okay, so be very careful. You will always use s. Second important tip, you will never pronounce this s. This is corps, like Mrs. Corr, and this is pay, like pay. But you will not pronounce them. Never pronounce them. Even if they are plural, you will not pronounce them. Similarly, you will not pronounce this S also. And this particular verb is super, super, super important. J'apprends. J'apprends le français pour mieux communiquer. J'apprends le français pour obtenir le statut de résident permanent au Canada. J'apprends le français pour se faire des amis. J'apprends le français pour être partie de communautaire francophone. Whatever your beauty is, objective is. At the end, you will need some sort of a script for your task one. Let's say your examiner interrupts you and asks you, OK, OK, ça va, je comprends. Pourquoi vous avez choisi apprendre le français? Why have you chosen French? Of course, you will say that's what IRCC gave me. I didn't have a choice. So, but you obviously will not speak like that. No, I did not have a choice. Can you give me CLB7 right away? You will obviously say, no, I chose French. J'ai choisi le français pour mieux communiquer, pour être partie de communautaire francophone, whatever. But prepare that also because that's commonly asked. Don't say I need CLB7. That's of course they know that. Je veux trouver un travail et faire des amis is again simple. First verb is conjugated. Second verb is not conjugated. Un travail, that means it is used as the noun. Whenever we use nouns in French, we use articles. But if you ask me, let's say you drop this in the exam because you're nervous, you forgot, you couldn't deal with it, then is it something which is a big error? Is it a deal breaker or not? What do you think? Is it a deal breaker or not? You tell me. How many people will say yes, it's a deal breaker if we don't put the articles in French, whether it is speaking or writing?
Yes.
How many of you will say yes?
Yes.
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 Okay. And rest of you are saying no. So do I take this as a poll that 80% people are saying no? Or 80% people are saying yes? Okay, I see it in the chat. Okay, so guys, the good news is it's not at all a deal breaker. That's the good news. Yes, it's not a deal breaker. See, they understand this fact that there is no way you guys can memorize the masculine, femina of each and every. Like in Hindi also, this is which is my native. At times, I make table masculine. Table khada hai, table khadi hai, kursi khadi hai, kursi khada hai, and such kind of things. They cannot penalize us for such errors. This will never be your deal breaker. Of course, that will catch the attention of the examiner. Yes, that will do that. They will, there is no la, she has dropped this, there is there is not lay. But they will not penalize you from CLB7 to CLB6 only because of this error. If they're dropping your score from CLB7 to CLB6, that means you must have done something really wrong. We will discuss that, what wrong you could have done. But coming back to the topic now, let's say this level, don't look at that. I have just got this document created basis the elevation. Moving further, we learned immigrate. Sorry for these drawings. Immigrate is the one, we are immigrate because we are the ones who are immigrated. What we are doing? We are doing immigration. What we are doing? Immigration. Installation dans un autre pays. Installation dans un autre pays. Pays d'origine is ABCD. And synonym of the pays d'origine is pays natal. Pays natal is my ABCD. Pays d'origine, pays natal, synonym, good to go. Pays d'accueil, société d'accueil. D'accueil is a pronunciation, guys. Don't get this wrong, please. Don't say accueillir, aki, whatever. Pays d'accueil, société d'accueil, territoire étranger. Now, territoire étranger, I find it like a tongue twister. I will not be able to speak this if I'm very nervous. So I will not use this word. I'll stick to my speech, my vocabulary, pays d'accueil, société d'accueil. I'll stick to that. Motivation à immigrer, another synonym, raison, la raison, l'objective, and there's one more word that I just used. What was that word? What is a synonym of raison, objective? What is our goal in French? What was the word?
Le but.
Le but. Correct. Awesome. Yes, le but. B-U-T, which is but in English, but that's not but in French. It's le but. So le but means, so now we understood 4 synonyms. La motivation, motivation à immigrer. La raison, l'objectif, le but. Le but pour laquelle, l'objectif pour laquelle, la raison pour laquelle j'immigré au Canada parce que blah, 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 whatever. Chercher un avenir meilleur. Pronunciation of this word is not meilleur, it's meilleur. Chercher, to search, un avenir, future. Chercher un avenir meilleur means simple, to find a better life or lifestyle or better future. Chercher une meilleure vie. Now, une meilleure vie because my V is femina, un avenir meilleur because my avenir is masculine. But again, you don't have to memorize all of these, guys. No, you just choose what you think you should be using, you would be using. Your mind will definitely adapt that better. S'intégrer, s'adapter, s'habituer à. All these 3 words are which type of verbs?
Pronominal.
Pronominal.
Yes.
Awesome. They are pronominal verbs. S'intégrer, s'adapter, s'habituer à. That means we are integrating to the society. But yes, these verbs are important. You will need them because you will keep saying in order to better integrate to the society, in order to better immigrate to the society, in order to better adapt to the society, you will use this. Apprendre la culture. Easy. Apprendre, we learned an j'apprends is obviously the conjugated. The verb is apprendre la culture. Découvrir les traditions, comprendre les habitudes. Liaison. And découvrir and comprendre. So, how many verbs? 3 verbs. Apprendre la culture, découvrir les traditions, comprendre les habitudes. Again, taking a pause. Apprendre la culture, découvrir les traditions, comprendre les habitudes. Simple. And what do we do there? On commence une nouvelle vie. New life. Recommencer ailleurs means to live, to start, to restart your life elsewhere. Simple, quick revision. Who are we? We are immigrant. What we are doing, living with parents or leaving them, and we are going to pay dakai. Our pay dakai is Canada. What I am doing, déménager. What is the other word? Partir. What I am doing, vivre dans un pays étranger. And for that, je dois apprendre une langue étrangère. Se faire des amis, se faire des copains during the process. What will I look forward to get quickly? Le travail, l'emploi, le métier. Where do I live? Maison, logement, appartement, hébergement. What is the process that I'm following? Immigration. Where I've come from, ABCD is my pays d'origine. Where I'm going, pays d'accueil, which is Canada. Motivation, the synonym, motivation, la raison, l'objectif, le but. Chercher un avenir meilleur, that I'm looking for a better life or lifestyle or a better life. 3 verbs, pronomino that we learned so far, s'intégrer, s'adapter, s'habituer à. Apprendre la culture, découvrir les traditions, comprendre les habitudes, nouvelle vie. So far, this was the A2 level. Again, A2 level is just a thing, guys. That doesn't mean that if you use these, you will be A2, you will be still CLB7. I should not have written A2 actually. Travail stable. Obviously, we all look forward to the emploi fixe, sécurité dans l'emploi. And we all obviously rencontre this daily, that is les difficultés, l'obstacle et les problèmes. Now, problem is masculin, féminin? Anyone?
Masculine.
And solution is?
Feminine.
Awesome. Why is that?
Because female always provides solutions.
Nice. I like it because she is always providing the solution and he is always creating the problem.
I have learned it hard way.
Very hard. Very hard, I'm sure. You have a practical
Because all
lesson.
the EION words
Are feminine.
are feminine.
Yes, that's another reason, but we like another one though. It's easy to remember. Cool. So just we motivate. Can anybody tell me which is this tense like? I always say, don't say just we bien, don't say just we manger, don't say all of this. So why am I saying just we motivate?
Passé composé.
Passé composé.
This is not at all passé composé, guys. 100% no. In
Is it PP?
case, if this would have been a passé composé, I should have written J motive, because motive is the verb which is not from the Dr. Mrs. Wondertram. And I'm not doing the action, but though here I'm okay, let's not get into the action. I will end up confusing the whole world.
Somebody written the passive form, so that it gives the diversity of the.
Yes, so it is a passive voice as well. That is correct. And there is another reason. More than that, actually, no. So let's not get into the passive voice here. It's very simple. If you remember, there was one session which was taken by Ilakshi regarding awar and etra. So there are certain phrases which will always come with etra. There are certain phrases which will always come with awar. Now, when the phrases which comes with etra, for example, just be nervous, just be fatigué, just be crevé, just be intelligent, just be content, just be heureuse. They are not passive voice, they are not passé composé. They are just phrases which will come with the etra. And similarly, there are certain phrases which will always come with awar, though in English or in Hindi or in my native, I'm tempted to say etra. For example, I am hungry. So I'm tempted to say just we faim, but I will say j'ai faim. But doesn't mean that it is passé composé. No, it is simple. It is present tense. J'ai faim. Similarly, just we motive. That is etra phrase, phrasal verb. So, je suis motivé à immigrer pour avoir un avenir meilleur. Les immigrés doivent apprendre. Simple, first verb is conjugated, second verb is infinitive. La langue pour s'intégrer. Il y a des difficultés, mais aussi beaucoup d'opportunités. Simple. Moving further, richesse pour le pays. Apport cultural diversity, mother. What is mother? ChatGPT?
Like working force,
Yes.
workforce.
Yes, workforce, correct. That is workforce, main d'oeuvre. So we pronounce this as main d'oeuvre, and this is almost obsolete now. But we yes, you will be able to type in the exam also. But otherwise, you can speak. Apport culturel, diversité, richesse pour le pays, intégration sociale, adaptation, inclusion. Now, what is these words? Why we are doing all this? So, when you will be doing the reading activity in TCF, or when you will be writing the TCF task 3, or you will be speaking the task 3, in order to understand it better and in order to nuance it better, you will need this richness of vocabulary. Again, I'm repeating, if you're using this and you're using with confidence, doesn't mean that your level is A1 and A2. As long as you speak and express with confidence and you're using at least one or two from here, the rest from there, the job is done. I will not try to memorize everything from here. The trick here is I will see, do I want to use the patrimoine culturel, which is cultural tradition, apporté, tradition apportée, multiculturalism, if I'm able to speak. Otherwise, I'll keep this word for my writing. I might not use this word for my speaking because under the stress, I might fumble and I might not be able to express it. Coexistence de culture, les diversité, like in Canada, which is super multiculturalism that we follow. And because here obviously there's so much of diversity that can bring discrimination, inégalité, rejet. It's rejet. Accueil des immigrés, accueil like welcoming lot of immigrations. Politique migratoire, soutien social. What is soutien social? Soutien means support and social means social support. Politique migratoire, I will obviously keep this word for my writing in case I have to. Otherwise, I will not use this word for my speaking. Contribution économique, participation à l'économie, and then croix, and then another word, sans. Croissance pays. What is croissance du pays, guys? Croissance du pays.
Growth of the country.
Growth of the country.
Growth of the country. And there is one more word which is croyance. What is that then?
Knowledge? No, it's a connaissance.
That is connaissance. Croyance
Belief.
and belief. Correct. So croyance, sorry for the handwriting here. I will type the word in the chat, guys, for you. So Croyance. Croyance is yes, the trust, belief, correct. Merci, Yvonne. And croissance is the growth. So be careful. Motivation économique, politique, chercher un emploi, and fuir la guerre is like what is happening in, of course, Ukraine. Demander, let's not get into here because we would not be using these words much. So this is, of course, asking for the, what is it that in Canada they ask for? Asylum. Demander l'asile, of course. Défi, enjeu, challenge, problem à résoudre. You will use this. Défi, I will use. Valeur universelle, liberté, égalité, respect des droits humains. Now, let's understand, am I going to use this in speaking? Task 1, TCF, no. I'm not going to use these words. Too much. And my examiner will not have time to ask me these much. And she will not even want to know this much. Task 2, there is no such task that it is so heavy that we are going to surround any of these, not usage. Task 3, yes. But am I going to use all of this? Absolutely no. My brain will not be able to retain much. So I will be smart and I will prepare my presentation in a way that I'll put it 3 points at avantage des immigrations. I'll just take 2-3 words from here. And also inconvénients, which is les enjeux, les défis that on rencontre. pendant le processus de l'immigration et aussi après avoir déménagé au pays d'accueil, after having been moved to the host country, which is Canada here. That's all, guys. That's all. And I will not try and remember politique migratoire. This is heavy. I will not try and remember. Of course, in case your mind wants to catch this, I'm all good. I'm not at all stopping you. But the point here is your confidence will speak better than your words. So that is something which you need to take away from here, that what is needed much here is the confidence and not much of the heavy words. That's not the sauce which we would need. Idiomatic expressions can help definitely to elevate your score. Idiomatic does help, obviously, not only in the TEF, but as much as it helps in the writing and speaking of the TCF. Brise la glace is a very simple, common idiomatic expression that is super helpful, and you can use this in TEF, TCF, both exams. What does it mean? Like starting the conversation. Lorsqu'on arrive dans un nouveau pays, il faut parfois briser la glace en participant à des activités locales. People who are at the A2 plus or B1 level, what is this en participant? What is this grammar called? Correct. Awesome. And why we are using it is here as like, what is it? What is the participation of this en participo? That means what exactly? What does it do?
While participating.
Correct. Awesome. Yes. So it means we are showing to our examiner two things: impressing my examiner by the usage of nice brise la glace idiomatic expression, and at the same time I'm giving a nice usage of my gerundive. This is needed. This is very much needed. And if you can throw this, you're done. Because at the end, they will not ask you that, hey, have you done A1? Hey, have you done A2? Hey, have you done B1? They don't care, right? All they need is this. And of course, if you want to memorize this phrase, by all means, go ahead. Good to go. Aller vers les autres, maybe I might not be able to use this much by myself, but maybe you can use it. It's very simple. Reach out to the others. Pour s'intégrer, il est important d'aller vers les autres, même si cela demande un effort au début. Même si cela demande un effort au début. Pour s'intégrer. Okay, this is a good word that I will steal from here. Se jeter à l'eau. Se jeter à l'eau. Prendre un risque. Oser. What is oser, guys? Oser, oser. Very cool verb.
Dare.
Dare. Awesome. Thank you, Vinay. Oser quelque chose de nouveau. Oser quelque chose de nouveau. Dare to do something new. Like, of course, we all have jeté à l'eau by learning French, right? We are daring ourselves to learn French in such a short time. So we have actually jumped in the water. So, vivre à l'étranger, c'est se jeter à l'eau. On ne sait jamais exactement à quoi s'attendre, mais il faut avoir le courage de se lancer. On ne sait jamais exactement à quoi s'attendre. À quoi s'attendre means?
What is needed?
Not needed.
Expectations.
Yes. So, to what to expect. À quoi s'attendre means to what to expect. On ne sait jamais. We never know what exactly to look forward to, what exactly to expect. Mais il faut avoir le courage de se lancer. Like exactly what we are doing. And of course, not just the people who are living in Canada right now, people everywhere in abroad, because they are learning French. That means il sait se jeter à l'eau. Dare to do something. Mettre la main à la pâte. Oh yes, people who are going for the TEF exam, you will use this in while convincing for the TEF section B. You will say, mon ami, mon ami, tu dois te jeter à l'eau pour essayer cette activité. Because your friend will say, no, I don't want to do this. And then obviously while trying to convince you, will use such nice idiomatic expression, mon ami, il faut avoir le courage à l'eau, tu dois te jeter à l'eau. Et voilà, comme ça. Mettre la main à la pâte to contribute actively. Les immigrés mettent la main à la pâte dans l'économie locale. That is for true. We contribute in Canada actively in the taxes. So that is for sure. And I can truly understand the pain here. So we do understand, we do actually mettre la main à la pâte. So we have put our hands in the path. Okay. So that means we are contributing effectively, at least in the Canadian taxes for sure. And that is definitely our pain point. So coming back to the analogy, briser la glace, that means, of course, to break the ice. Briser la glace. How do we remember this? How do we put this in our brain? Briser la glace. La glace is, guys, ice. Connect Canada with ice. Briser la glace. Simple. Break the ice. Breaking the ice, you can use it in TEF, TCF, writing, speaking, everywhere. Mesdames, il faut briser la glace. And of course, you can use in the TCF writing, TCF speaking task 3, you can say, Mesdames, d'abord, il était vraiment difficile pour moi pour briser la glace, mais après quelques mois, après quelques fois, ça a arrivé. Voilà, merci. So, briser la glace. Aller vers les autres, il faut aller vers les autres pour demander de l'aide. So, j'étais à l'eau, connected with French, that we all have actually jumped in the water to get this done. And mettre la main à la pâte, I will definitely remember this expression by Canadian taxes, because I am actively contributing to the Canadian taxes. So, mettre à la main à la pâte. So, always try and connect your idiomatic expression or the things that you want to learn with something. Either it is your emotion, good point, pain point, bad point, anything which you will try and remember. Like, for example, I'll give you very nice, interesting spelling that my teacher taught me once. And it was so fun that I remember it like my lifetime. I don't get this wrong. So the spelling is like, of course, champagne, but I don't get this wrong because the way I learned it was champagne. So, and the champagne, I never forget this word. So I will never get the spelling wrong. So it's simple, champagne. And of course, people who obviously know French, they will never pronounce this like champagne. They will always pronounce this as champagne. So it is champagne, it is not champagne. But all I'm saying is that this is a nice trick to remember certain things when we are so overwhelmed by a lot of information around us. We have grammar to do, listening to do, reading to do, speaking to do. And of course, we have to casser les barrières linguistiques. This is super, super, super important idiomatic expression that you're going to use it definitely in your TCF task 3. Take a note of this. Casser les barrières linguistiques. Casser les barrières linguistiques is something that we guys are already doing to break the language barriers. That means when we know we are going to live in Canada, when we know that we have to look forward for the jobs, bilingual jobs and everything, we have to cross that language barrier. So, parler plusieurs langues permet de casser. Casser means, of course, to break les barrières linguistiques entre les cultures. It is super, super important idiomatic expression that you're going to use. Common ideas that are revolving around the immigration. L'adaptation dépend de. Very common error I've seen in writing and most of the student, and in speaking also, I used to do the same error. Sur. Because my English tempt me to use dépend sur. Je dois dépendre sur. No. Dépend is always 100% followed by the, not sur. And I've seen this in all the copies of writing correction. And of course, speaking also. L'adaptation dépend de plusieurs facteurs. Personnalité. Ouverture d'esprit means what? L'ouverture d'esprit. Ouverture d'esprit. Loudly, Ridhimi.
Open-minded.
Open-mindedness. Yes, that is the correct thing. That when we immigrate to another country, we not only, of course, get into a different personality at times, but that helps us to have a more open-mindedness and develop the motivation to and our develop the motivation to live there and to have the different life. But though the sentence doesn't mean that, sentence means our adaptation to the new country depends on plusieurs factor. It depends on our personality, how we are we something which is open minded, are we something which somebody who is very introvert or extrovert, depends on that. Or what is my motivation? My motivation is something will decide how's my adaptation in my country. My country dakai will be, sorry, this is English French both contradicting in my mind. What was the country dakai? What was that? And what is the word that we learned? Host country.
Wel-
What was that?
Welcoming country.
No, but what was the word in French? What was the word in French?
Paid dakai.
Pay dakai. Awesome. So you guys are listening. Approved. Okay, next. Language barrier. La barrier linguistic. Fun part, it's so close to English. So close to English. We use the same words. You don't have to like literally go and learn, see any French dictionary needed, not needed. La barrière linguistique peut être un frein. What is frein? Simple word. We use it a lot.
Break.
Break what? Break dance?
Just a break. It's like a stop.
Yes. Pause, stop. Yeah. The friction. So per air break, correct. That's the right word, but it's more, it's the friction part. Can be a friction, mais avec de l'apprentissage et de la pratique, elle devient surmontable. It can be overcome. La barrière linguistique peut être un frein. It can be a break, but avec l'apprentissage, with the learning and with the practice, it becomes surmontable. Overcome. We can overcomeable, which is not a word in English, but yeah, that's what it means. Cultural difference. Les différences culturelles peuvent être enrichissantes. Tip here, enrichissante, sont double S. Enrichissante. 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 Mais aussi source de choc culturel. I think we use this in English also. So I will, of course, try and give a message to my mind that use this in my English to French mind translation. Use the same way. Les différences culturelles peuvent être enrichissantes, mais aussi source de choc culturel. So our cultural difference can become definitely overwhelming. They are very enriching, but they can become a cultural shock for us. Social network. L'importance de réseau social. L'importance de réseau social. S'entourer d'amis locaux. S'entourer. What is s'entourer? No dictionary.
Circle.
Sonika, again?
I think circle or
Very clear, very close, but not circle.
Surrounded.
surrounding.
Surrounded, yes. Surrounded by. S'entourer d'amis, surrounded by d'amis, friends, local friends, ou d'expatriés facilite l'intégration. D'expatrier us, the people, like of course us who comes there, facilite helps facilitate l'intégration, integration. What is the other synonym that I can use for l'intégration? For the better?
Adaptation.
Awesome. Yes, l'adaptation. So two words that we learned, l'adaptation, l'intégration. Now, if I add social, l'adaptation sociale, l'intégration sociale, done? That means I can give a task, a paragraph on the social barriers too. That how can I overcome my l'intégration? How can I actually enrich my l'intégration? Of course, I'll teach that part little later because I don't want to confuse many A1, A2 learners here. Resilience. Certains individus sont plus résilients et voient les défis comme des opportunités d'apprentissage. Some people, of course, they are very resilient and they take the challenges, les défis, comme des opportunités d'apprentissage. Very simple. Let's say examples of certain of my students, they took French as a big challenge. Okay, done, taken. Now they are delivering the training. So same challenge, which was a challenge, they not only got PR, which of course you'll all got as you'll get as well soon, then you will start applying for the bilingual opportunities. And that will be like killing two birds with the same stone. Simple TEF TCF questions, which was repeated in the month of August. Here they are. D'après-vous, est-il facile de se faire de nouveaux amis en arrivant dans un pays étranger? This was the topic of the Toronto Center. This was the topic of the Bhopal Center in India. And this was the topic of the Vancouver Center. Very surrounded to l'immigration. Pour vivre dans un pays étranger, il est indispensable de créer des relations avec les habitants du pays. Pensez-vous que chacun a la capacité de s'intégrer et de s'adapter en vivant à l'étranger? Pourquoi? If you understand, it's more or less you're going to use the same vocabulary, same thing, same, like pour avantage, same inconvenience, same défi, everything will be same. You will not use separate vocabulary because the ideas will always revolve around this only. Question. What are the advantages of immigration? What is the first advantage? How will I not in French, you can give me in English, that's fine. The idea is to discuss the idea.
Apprendre une langue étrangère.
Étranger, okay. This is an
New job
advantage.
opportunities.
New job opportunities. What else? Les opportunités professionnelles. What else? That's it. That's why we are learning French, guys. Yes, Jasmine, sorry.
Découvrir the culture.
Découvrir les cultures. Yes.
Découvrir new.
We don't do that. We don't have time. But yes, that's a point.
Mieux façon de vivre.
Mieux façon de vivre. Oui, that's true. That we do. Yes, that's true. What was the next one?
Communiquer.
Building social network.
Yes.
Gagner beaucoup de l'argent.
Yes, very much so. Super, super true. Shout out. Too many thumbs up. Yes. And what else? Guys, why we are learning French? PR. Why PR?
To get citizen, to get more benefits.
To get more benefits, yeah, that's fine. So, mota, like grosso modo in French, what is it that we need? What we are going to tell to our examiner? Obviously, when he or she will put up the questions, simple that we will not be able to sum up all of this. We'll be smart. We'll just keep our 3 major points ready, and we will revolve around that so that we don't tangle our mind and we don't let her confuse also. So it'll be very simple. If it's a professional or employment opportunities, that's one point that you can always use. So faire de nouveaux amis or explorer la culture différente, because explorer la culture différente can also attirer can also bring a lot more other points, like you would talk about la diversité culturelle that you're going to definitely highlight. And the third point that you can always say that why would you like to do is, of course, to live a better life, maybe to live a stable life, or maybe to live a better life. But again, that doesn't mean that we can't talk about gagner d'argent, we can't talk about any other thing. You can do that as long as you have the right vocabulary. But what I feel I totally want to do in a 3-way, economical aspect is one, and then maybe something which is about lifestyle, and third, I will rather keep it either toward the culture or the diversity. Simple. So that I give my enough vocabulary and I will not go beyond this, because otherwise I'll end up tangling my thoughts. And pensez-vous que chacun a la capacité de s'intégrer? Yes. Each one has the capacity. Yes. Because of course of the motivation. What are the motivation? These are the motivations that we just discussed. Next point. Vivre à l'étranger représente-t-il un défi? Oui. Tell me the inconvenience now. What are the challenges that we face?
Living alone is a challenge because we're
Yes.
not with the family.
Absolutely. This is a very, very important point that we are going to use. L'isolement and la dépression, l'anxiété, And manque du pays is the vocabulary. Manque du pays. Next point. What else?
Cultural shock.
Oui, le choc culturel, because nous n'avons pas les mêmes fêtes, les mêmes traditions. Right? So we can always develop our idea behind it. The grand défi that we face here, that we miss our own culture, we miss our own tradition, and we miss our fête and the festivals that we celebrate, and of course the culture. So cultural shock. Another one.
Different temperature.
Weather, yes. Khushbu.
Problem financier.
Problem financier, absolutely, especially Canada. Yes.
Le barrière,
Economy financier, yes. Divyang.
le barrière linguistique.
La barrière linguistique. La
Language.
barrière linguistique, yes, we do face that, yes. So now what I will do, I will be choosing again the 3 main points that I'm going to talk about. Do I take all 3 points around to finance, economy, or things? No. Again, I will divide. I will talk about my first negative point, the défi, the grand défi, l'isolement, la dépression. Deuxième, le choc culturel. Et le troisième, maybe l'aspect économique, les manque d'argent nécessaire, crise financière. These are the 2 words that I can use. And of course, I will not go for the 4th one. No, because the 4th one will be too much to express. And in both exams, guys, whether it is TEF or TCF, you will not have much time. The whole time is actually like only 10 minutes. So imagine the whole hard work is going into for this last 10 minutes. Cool. Now, these are the certain vocabularies. Argument pour l'intégration sociale, why it is important, bien-être mental, compréhension, l'accès facilité, then respect mutuel, processus bilatéral. Now, barrière, politique non-inclusive, and all of those. So these ones, of course, I am going to share the notes with you anyway. This is one that we have taken, pourquoi vous avez choisi le Canada, but doesn't mean that this is an ideal answer. And of course, we have used AI for this, but this will give you something, a mind to room of thought, like room to think about it basically. So let's say if I say, j'ai choisi le Canada pour ces opportunités professionnelles au système éducatif ou bien sa qualité de vie, whatever you want to use, just use it, make your write up, whatever you want to write, then s'exprime, then express. So, de plus, le Canada offre un bon équilibre entre la vie personnelle et professionnelle. Not true, not true. Un environnement sécurisé. Sometimes, ce qui est très important pour moi. J'ai aussi entendu beaucoup de choses positives sur le respect de la nature, les valeurs d'inclusion, les opportunités. But do I use all of this? No. Forget it. We would not be able to use it because we wouldn't be able to express it this way. We wouldn't be able to memorize so much. Structure for the monologue, most of you who have already started, of course, these are the certain words, as I said, that you guys will be using. Then there's another one, which is apprendre une langue étrangère. That is something that we will take it separately. But this is also more or less related to the writing. And I think if I'll just leave this document with you guys, you would be able to anyway use these vocabulary very nicely. I now want to ask you if you guys have any question here. The document will come to you after this. Besides this, do you understand where did we circled around today? It was everything about l'immigration. L'immigration is a very, very important topic, essential topic for the reading, listening, for the TEF as well. And speaking, it's mostly for the speaking and writing, mostly for the TCF. But the vocabulary is more or less similar. And you got to learn this vocabulary. I will share some cheat sheet as well with you so that you know that in order to get CLB7, this is what I'm heading towards. This is what I will be surrounding towards, and you take it from there. Right, guys, I hope you're attending the reading on the listening session tomorrow with Hamza sir. He's going to take that with you in the afternoon. And whoever is not able to, would not be able to attend, no problem. Let us know. We will share the recording. But of course, try and participate because we do not share the downloadable recordings. It's just has a very small, short shelf life. And usually people do not watch recordings. At least I don't do, honestly. We don't have time. Right, guys, I'll let you go then. Merci beaucoup for being such a nice audience today. And thank you so much. You will see Ilakshi next week, and she's going to take a super, super, super important topic, how to ask questions in TEF and TCF. Don't miss that. Stay tuned and keep learning and keep inspiring. Merci beaucoup. Je vous laisse.